Yeah, baby. Let's go. There we go. The new JJ just came in the mail today. Let's go. Yeah. What did we say?
The word for today is whoo. Not
Brought to you by the number
not in
18.
the Ric Flair
Yeah, I
woo,
know.
but the
Yeah.
that was close.
In the Sesame Street. Today's program was brought to you by the number 18 and the word
And the
whoo.
word
Whoo.
wipe your brow.
Whoo.
Whew.
Yeah, exactly.
That was I was already writing off the whole season before we won the game. I was like, we might not win another game. I was like,
Yeah.
it said in our group
Yeah,
chat.
and I was like, we're
it.
2-3 going into the bye.
Yeah, I'm like, that
was,
might be it. We might not win another game. And then we somehow won. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
When it comes down to stuff like that, I don't understand. Like, it's in us then. Why don't we just run a 2-minute drill halfway through the second quarter then? You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Like the whole game. Yeah.
But I also get that in a 2-minute drill, the defense is different. So you can't. I understand it doesn't actually work, but when it's working, you're just like, why don't what? Let's just always do a 2-minute drill. It seems to work.
Yeah.
No huddle, just like get rhythm, like go. Like I don't know. More injuries though. Like that's fun.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, no, I suppose. Welcome to week 5, I guess. We are Jim and Dale, your host. If there's any new listeners out there, new watchers out there. Yeah, I mean
Super Bowl. I just saw your name.
Yeah.
You're an idiot.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope so because I got money on it. But
Yeah, did you see that?
What's my cash out at?
I always change my. Oh, we want to do the new segment. We had two new segments.
No, let's keep talking about the game. We'll do this.
Okay, we'll talk about the game.
Break into segments. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll introduce those later.
Yeah, it's like 3 quarters, and then honestly, if you look at the numbers, the reason that we didn't blow them out was 2 turnovers, was 2 fumbles. We had short fields. We were on our side of the 50. I think the one we were in the red zone or right close to it, and we put the ball on the ground twice. And that's ultimately really kind of our only bad area, other than we can't stop the run on defense, which is concerning. Which is concerning because who are we missing on defense? Van Ginkel. That's it. Like everybody else is there. We've talked about the offensive line being just in shambles, and it is. And I'll go through that today because like what we did yesterday, it's honestly kind of miraculous. Like how we end up winning that game, the protection. Just insane. So Carson Wentz went 25 for 34 for 236 yards and just 1 touchdown. Mason had 52 yards carry, 52 yards and a touchdown. Justin Jefferson 7 receptions for 123 yards. He's had 2
passing touchdowns though. It just Wentz didn't throw one of them.
Yeah. It was Cam Akers, which was amazing.
So
apparently he threw for like 4,000 yards in high school or something like that. He was a high school quarterback. Cam Akers was, and they've been hanging on to that. I guess he threw. KOC said in his press conference that he threw a couple in with the Rams when he was with the Rams. They used him a couple times like that. So, but apparently they've had that one in his back pocket for a while. And Cam Akers, like that was the only play that he was in for. 1 for 1 for a touchdown, dude. Passing. Let's see, Cam Akers 1 for 1, 32 yards and a touchdown, dude. So it's kind of like he's kind of like. Who was that quarterback that we had that came in last year that only threw 3rd downs to Jordan Mason or to Jordan Mason, right? No, not Jordan Mason. Who's our other one? Who's our other the running back that's on IR from last year?
Aaron Jones.
Yeah. What was that quarterback that we had last year? The backup, Nick Mullins. Nah, was it Nick Mullins? And he was like 3 for 3 on the season. He would come in for like somebody got hurt or whatever, and he'd come in and then he would throw it, and he'd always throw it to Aaron Jones and for like a first down. But anyway, So
Hey,
Cam
as long
Akers
as it
1 for
works.
1 with 32 yards. Yeah, so of course, Jordan Addison had a huge game or a huge touchdown there at the end. 5 catches for 41 yards. It's 8.2 average. Justin Jefferson, 7 catches, 123 yards, an average of 17.6. He is the best wide receiver in football, bro.
He was amazing. And these catches were like these were Justin Jefferson catches too.
Yeah,
They're all highlights. Almost every single one of them was like, God dang.
Some of them were hospital balls too. I'm like, dude, what are you
Oh,
trying to do?
sure.
You look a little
I
Josh
almost sent the
Dobbs,
text.
bro.
I almost sent a text earlier to the group like Wentz is out there trying to get people killed. Like he's floating these things up there, like extending people out. Like, dude, what are you doing?
He said something in his press conference or something like that about Justin Jefferson and how he can high point a ball. So he's like, sometimes I can just throw it over there and he's gonna go up and get it. So I think he kind of has that in the back of his head. So I don't know that it's necessarily on purpose, but it's like a safe.
I mean, they did that with Moss. I mean, that was the thing with Moss. Just throw it up, and Moss would say, "Just throw it up, I'll get it."
Yeah. Well, of course, he was 6'4",
nobody can out jump. Nobody can out jump me. Yeah, exactly. 6'4", and he could jump. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Justin Jefferson doesn't have that, but
9-foot reach.
He can just time that. He just high points it so well. Yeah. I mean, it's just he's amazing. He's more of known as the route runner. The precision route runner. We've seen that. Where he puts his foot in the ground and just leaves people. And he's wide open, but he can still go up and get it though. So,
that's the thing. So if we ever do develop a quarterback that like, not injuries and never, not contracts, whatever. Like he can have the same quarterback for a while. Like him and Cousins had good chemistry for a long time, and having that ability to, when you get that timing down, when he does his little shimmy shake and he breaks free. I mean, the defensive players are really fast. You break free, but sometimes only for that quick second. If you can time it right, it's almost undefendable. Like what are you gonna do?
No, he is. Yeah.
But you need somebody that clicks with them, though. Like, they asked him, interviewed him about having different quarterbacks and how he feels like that. And basically, he's like, well, it's my job to catch the ball. It doesn't matter who's throwing it. I'm still going to do my thing. Blah, blah, blah. In fact, I saw a thing that what's the show with Shannon Sharp and Ocho Cinco?
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Punk and Ocho. Whatever it's called, and Ocho was like, "Man, I hate that. I don't like that answer." And Unc was just like, "What do you want him to say?" He's like, "Well, I don't want him to be. Why is he being politically correct? Just say it." He's like, "It don't matter who the quarterback is. I'm that good." He's like,
exactly.
He's like, "You should have been doing the gritty during the interview."
Yeah. Yeah. He's but he's special, dude.
That's not who he is, though. He's not. He's not Ocho Cinco. He's not up there just bragging about himself. He's gonna show it. He's just gonna prove it to you.
Yeah,
he's gonna yell in your face and then first down it on you. That's what he's gonna do.
Yeah, he's special, but so big game for him. That's 2 weeks in a row. He's had over 100 yards. He is the as far as yards per game, he's the best in the NFL. Like almost 100 yards a game over his first like 6 seasons or something like that. I think he passed Jerry Rice all time for like most yards within 6 seasons or something. That is like top 5 now, I think. But we're only 5 games in. We're 5 games into this 6th season, so he's got 12 more games to continue to go on. So I think it's 500 and some yards to pass Randy Moss or something like that.
Yeah, less than 494 from breaking
494
Moss's record. Yeah, 494.
Yeah, so I mean, like the dude is he's just unreal.
And Addison is really good too, but he's a problem child.
Yeah,
and that DUI.
Yeah,
and then he skipped walkthroughs, and so KOC benched him first quarter.
Yeah, I'm all for it. I'm like,
I'm thinking I am too, but it's just like, dude, what the hell, man? Like,
I'm like, dude, you're in London. It's not even like you're at home playing video games or something or doing something stupid. Like you're in a hotel that you're all staying with, and you missed a walkthrough. Like, bro, what are you doing? Like what are you doing? Where are you at? You're out just roaming around London by yourself. That you're late. I think the leash is getting very short. I could see. I don't know where he's at contract wise, but I could see them not extending him. I could see them just letting him go. As good as he is, he's a problem. He's
not. He's a culture. He's not a culture guy, and
no,
KOC is a culture guy.
yeah.
And if you don't fit within the culture, you can go somewhere else. You can
He's
step on
constantly
somewhere else.
Yeah, and even like Jets talks about that he has to take him more under his wing to make sure he's doing the right thing. You shouldn't have to. He's like 3 years in the league now. He's already messed up twice. He's got 2 brushes with the law, and you keep saying, "Oh yeah, I got to do better. I'm going to do better. I'm going to do better." And then you do stuff like this. So you're not getting any better, bro. You at some point you have to change, or else that's just who you are. And then we got to let you go. I mean, I hate to say it because he's a phenomenal
really
athlete and he's a great player, but not at the expense of
He's not a great player if I have to sit you for a quarter.
Well, that's true, and you never know. Yeah, exactly. So
you'd be the greatest player in the world, but if I can't,
I don't know that he's.
What good are you?
I don't know that he's like demanding the ball or getting frustrated and stuff like that. But anyway, definitely a problem.
He shouldn't be complaining about that because of the big. He usually gets the ball because he does man to man, and while they're doubling Jetta. So I don't know. It's still. Where was Thielen? Was Thielen on the field this last game? His number was never called.
Yeah. No, you're right. I mean, he's like a fourth option. It was Naylor. I mean, and rightly so. Like, what do you do? I mean, he was definitely on there for the first quarter because he, because Addison wasn't out there. But you got Naylor and Jets and Jordan Addison. And then you got Hawk, who's playing a huge thing. Josh Oliver, who's catching touchdowns like crazy. Who could change his name to CC. All he does is catch touchdowns. Josh Oliver he's probably one of the top leaders in touchdowns this year, probably. I think he's got 3 already. Anyway, so, I hate it for him because I'd love to see 19 called more, but honestly, I'm like, you spread the ball around, and I love to see TJ getting more involved. And we talked about that last week about how now he's not having to chip so much, because the offensive line when the offensive line was good 2 weeks ago. But so here's the thing with the offensive line. So Christian Darrisaw is back, but he's on a pitch count. So we saw that, Dan was like, where's Darrisaw? He was out in the fourth quarter. But we have Blake Brandel. Planned. We have Blake Brandel, who played center for the first time in his life. And he played really, really well. Let's see.
Honestly, I mean, there was some sacks, but it wasn't that bad. I mean, and
2 sacks.
The Browns have a good defense, so it's like
they have the best defense in the league. So here it is. Key statistics for the Browns defense. Total defense ranked number 1 in the NFL for total yards allowed per game. We had 349. They average yards per game against them 225. We averaged 120 some yards more than what we had. We got more than what they averaged against them. Points allowed is number 1 in the NFL for points allowed per game against them. We only put up 21, but we turned the ball over twice. We were 0-2 on the turnover battle. So that could have easily
which is crazy because that turnover battle, right? I mean, they always put up the stat. Like when you lose a turnover battle, more times than not, by a lot. The stats, the stats, it's like 10% chance of winning that game.
Yeah, it's almost 90% chance that
somehow we found ourselves in that 10%.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for sure. They lead the league in third down efficiency, which we weren't amazing. I think we were 3 for 9 on third down. We're 3 for 9, but we only had 9 third downs. We had 20 first downs. So when we're getting first downs on every 2 downs, I mean,
who needs a third down when you just get a first down on second down?
61 plays for 349 yards. So what is that? That's 10 yards a play would be 600. So that's over 5 yards a play on average. So every 2 downs, you're getting a first down. So 61 plays and 20 of them were first down. So a third of them. So I guess every 3 we're getting first downs. But so their defense was amazing. But here's a stat that I saw too, though. The Vikings limited Myles Garrett, who's one of the top dogs in the NFL as far as pass rushers, to to 2 pressures on 35 pass rushes, 5.7%. He rushed the passer 35 times and had 2 pressures, no sacks. His second lowest pressure rate in a game since 2021. The Vikings slowed him down by chipping Garrett 42.9% of his rushes, 15 of the 35, the third highest chip rate Garrett has faced since at least 2018. Justin Skol, who entered the game having allowed a 14.3 pressure rate, held Garrett without pressure on 14 pass attempt matchups. So we just effectively shut down Myles Garrett, which is ridiculous because that dude is an absolute stud. And then going back to the offensive line. So Blake Brandel played center for the first time in his life. We had Justin Skol start at right tackle. We had a rookie, Joe Huber, started at left guard, his first start. And then Darisaw was in at left tackle. And then midway through late in the third quarter, in the fourth quarter, when Darisaw was out because of the pitch count, Justin Skol went from right tackle to left tackle. Like, dude changed in the middle of the game. Right. And I've heard like multiple people talk about, like, you have no idea how hard it is to do that kind of stuff and to move around on that offensive line. That's why you have all pro centers and all pro guards and all pro tackles, because that's what they do. All pro left tackles. They play left tackle because it's a totally different movement. There's nobody out to your left. You feel him to your right. You know what to do to push him to help and stuff like that. And then to go from one side where you're trying to push people, in my mind, I'm thinking Skol's pushing them, I guess depending on the pass protection, but he's pushing them probably to the left to the help. And now he's pushing them to the right. Like, so the fact that we only gave up 2 sacks to the number 1 ranked defense in the NFL after giving up 6 and 7 and all these, like, we were leading the league in sacks going into this game. And with this hodgepodge, first time at center, first start for a rookie, all of these things, switching from right to left, during the game, like it. Oh, puppy.
Mr. Rose. Hey, calm down.
There's the puppy.
New puppy.
We always stop for puppies. But it's just it's insane what they did. I don't know that we can express that enough, and obviously I don't really comprehend it either, as the football people do. But I've heard, like I said, I've heard it multiple times, seeing multiple things about how impressive it is, and I mean that's got to come down to coaching. We limited the penalties to a degree. I mean, our first play was a penalty because Will the Thrill did not kick it into the landing zone. I'm like, dude, you can't start them on the 40. Like, come on, bro.
That was
if
terrible.
You're going to do that, just kick it into the end zone and let them start at the 30.
Exactly.
It's not they don't get a run back, but it's better than the 40. I mean, it's 10 yards. It's a first down you gave them. You give them a 60-yard field to start the game. But so, to do all that, to give up 2 sacks, to put up 349 yards. And, you and I were talking about it off air and beforehand, like the little bing, bing, bang, bang, boom, like, why? And I mentioned it on my Facebook post, like, when we start to get healthy, why don't we just keep doing that? Let's pretend like our number 1 players, that they're the third string, right, and let's just keep getting the ball out of our hands in less than 2 seconds. Like,
keep dinking and dunking.
Exactly. Yeah. Like, we're seeing the yards after catch are, for Sabretooth, for Jets, for all these players. Like, I firmly believe that this adversity this early, and the fact that we're at 3-2, it's not like what we'd hoped, but we thought we were going by our records, we'd be 4-1 going into the bye. We're only off by 1 game. I mean, we're off by 1 game. And we've turned the ball over so much, penalties. So we're 3-2. I mean, we lose 3 more games, we're 12-5. For the rest of the way we lose 2 more games, we're 13-4. I mean,
the problem is I'll say a problem, and then I'm gonna kind of like argue against that problem or bring up a point. So the problem for me, as far as like this team instilling confidence in me, is just watching them play. The way they play, it's kind of messy. It's just like, doesn't seem that effective. Ugly wins, if you want to call it that. So it's just like, doesn't pass the smell test, as people say, right? It's just like, and then you look at other teams like Detroit that are steamrolling pretty good, and then Green Bay was looking pretty good, and all the other teams are looking pretty good. So it's just like, to think we're gonna only lose 2 more times, it's just like, man, I just don't see it. But with that said, this has been a crazy year. It's all the other weird games, like every week. Like, look what we did to Cincinnati.
Yeah.
And then even though Detroit beat Cincinnati, they didn't beat them like we beat them.
Yeah, and they struggled in the beginning too.
We destroyed Cincinnati. Like, it was embarrassing.
Yeah.
And then Detroit, basically struggled to beat Cincinnati. So it's like, well, I don't know. Like, the whole league's kind of topsy turvy right now. Like, it's kind of wild. Like, anybody could win.
Yeah. And actually, they were talking about that on NFL, like the start of the NFL countdown or Monday Night Countdown, or whatever. That by talking about this, that the football, the NFL is just like wide open, like all these like juggernaut teams of the past, the past couple of years, the Kansas Cities and the Buffalo Bills and stuff like that. Like, we're into barely through week 5 and there's no undefeated teams left. And last year there was like 3 or 4 teams that were still 5.
The Chargers were looking good, but they lost this week to Arizona, I think.
Yeah.
Like, what? Like, what is happening? Like,
so there's just a lot. It seems like there's just a lot more parity within the NFL for whatever reason. This year, last year we were 13-4, and we were a wild card. This year, we could be 11-7 and be a wild card. I mean, it could be totally different. Yeah, 10-7 or something. Yeah. So, I feel pretty good about it, just for the simple fact that I think that we're learning how to win these games with such depleted personnel, especially on the offensive line part of it, that when these guys come back, because Darisaw's there and he's just getting stronger and stronger to the point where he's not going to be on a pitch count, obviously. And it might be against the Eagles. He's got 2 weeks to rest now. We're going into the bye, so no football game this weekend. And so that gives us a full 2 weeks off. At KOC's press conference today talked about JJ McCarthy was in the building today. He'll be there all this week, and going into next week. Of course, next week they'll start going back to their regular. This week they have off because there's nothing. But then next week they'll go back into their regular scheduled Tuesday meetings, walkthroughs, practices, all that kind of stuff to get them back on the grass. But JJ's there, and people that are doing rehab, of course, they're in the facility every day doing rehab and stuff like that. But the guys that are healthy and stuff, they go spend time with their families and do whatever they want to do. But obviously the facility is always there for them to come and do whatever they need to do. Carson Wentz is in a lot of pain today, is what KOC was saying. So
I bet.
I think that bodes well for I think that bodes well for JJ. I thought at some point we were going to see old Max Brosmer in there, which I wasn't too terribly upset about. But then Carson came back with the shoulder and played amazing. And that great drive, the last drive, 9 for 9 for like 70 some yards or something like that with the touchdown. I mean, like, played amazing. So it's just it's such a hard thing to like navigate or to put your finger on with Carson Wentz. Is like, is he good? Is he not? There's definitely some throws we need to take back. He only took the 2 sacks. He was getting the ball out quicker. And so obviously I think that's just his obviously it was coached up this week. Like, hey, you can't be taking these sacks. You got to get the ball out, because a majority of those 6 sacks last week, I would say at least half of them, that was on him. Like, he just held the ball too long.
Yeah, get rid of the ball.
This one, I know the one that comes to mind right off my top of my head was that there was like a free rusher, and there was no way he was getting rid of that ball. I mean, and then the other one, he was raced out. He was run down by Myles Garrett, which he was out of the pocket running away. He should have threw that ball away too. You got to feel him coming. Like, you can't, dude's way better athlete than you are, bro. Like, you're not going to run away from Myles Garrett, dude. You need to get rid of that ball. Whether throw it
he's
out
100 pounds more than you, but he's a better athlete.
Yeah, exactly. Those D tackles, they're nasty and get paid a lot of money for a reason, dude. Those guys are fast and strong, and they're not going to miss. Once they get a hold of you, they got you. We did do better. Well, 3 for 9 on third down. Going into the game, we were 30.6% converted 18 and 59 attempts, which is 30th in the NFL on third down. 30th out of 32. And the opponents have converted 19 of 63, which is the 5th highest. So we're not getting off the field on third down,
And we're letting the other team stay on the field.
And we're not staying on the field on third down. So definitely concerning on the defensive end that we cannot stop a running back to the point where we put money on the other running back, and we hit that leg of our parlay because. But I'm like, what Flo? What's kind of going on now? Obviously it's still kind of the bend don't break kind of thing. Like we're giving up yards, but we're not giving up chunk plays. We're not giving up a lot of points and stuff like that. But it's concerning because in my mind, like Detroit, obviously, I mean, we're going to have to beat Detroit at some point if we ever want to take back over the North because they're playing well. How are we going to stop the running backs? Like we can't stop this rookie who's he's good, but he's not Detroit, Jahmyr Gibbs and them. Like, so, yeah, it's definitely concerning to see how the defense is not it's not great. I kept saying yesterday, me and my boys and stuff like that, we're just not that good. We're just not that good. It's I don't know. And maybe things will turn around during this bye week. Somebody and a reporter asked KOC in London still because they all had the accents and stuff after the game. They were like talking about last year you went into the bye. I think we went into the bye like 5-0, I think, or something like that. We were undefeated going into the bye or something like that. And he's like, or no, I don't know what the record was, but he said you came out of the bye and you lost your first two. What do you do? What do you do to try to limit that this week? And he's like, oh yeah, I mean we have to do our we have to do our part as far as coaching these guys up and self-scouting and all this kind of stuff. So hopefully that's not the case. I mean, coming out of the bye, we have a stretch. It's going to be a gut check for sure. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how things come about. And of course, I feel like we go back to J.J. McCarthy. I don't think Carson Wentz did enough. We talked about that after week 2. Now we're into week 5 after week 3. So 4 and 5 is what Carson Wentz played. And we were like, well, does he come back? Does J.J. get his job back? I think so. I don't think Carson Wentz did enough to sway me to the point of he's way better.
I don't think so either. But with that said, I don't think McCarthy has to hit much of a skid to get benched.
Well, I don't see KOC benching him. I think if he comes back with him, we just ride with him, and if we lose, we lose. I just don't. I think KOC is just too scared because he's been so many times on record saying that organizations
fail young quarterbacks.
Fail young quarterbacks.
Young quarterbacks fail organizations.
Yeah.
I mean, so I get that, but I feel like a way that I feel like forcing it can have a negative effect too. Like if you
no doubt
losing and he gets destroyed and he's getting sacked left and right and he's what I mean? Like you're not doing him any favors if the dude's picking his teeth up off the ground every play. Like
well, hopefully that's not the case because hopefully our defense gets Ryan Kelly gets back going. And of course Brian O'Neill, he's on short-term IR, so he's at least 4 weeks, which would turn into 8 probably. So there's just a lot. There's some things that have to happen on the offensive line to get back to full strength. But I still think that he comes back in. My question is, looking at it, it's like, do you think that the 2 games, the games that we lost and won, to the Pittsburgh and to yesterday, does J.J. McCarthy? Was Carson Wentz that much better than could J.J. McCarthy have done that? You know what I mean? Could he have put that drive together in the end? I think so. He did against Chicago in week 1. He put that drive together at the end of the game, when we needed him. And he probably outruns people. He probably doesn't take those sacks as he takes off running with his legs. I don't know that Myles Garrett catches him. You know what I'm saying? Like, Myles is fast, but he's fast to catch Carson Wentz, but he's not fast to catch J.J. McCarthy. He's shifty and gone. So to me, I feel like J.J. gives us just as good a chance as Carson Wentz. There's some throws there that Carson could take back, like we said, put the ball way up in the air. I don't know. But of course, he was asked that as well, and KOC just says, right now I'm not worried about that. We're gonna go into this bye, we're gonna get healthy, and then we're gonna see where we're going. But he was very, with KOC in his press conferences, you have to kind of read his demeanor, and you have to kind of read between the lines. And his message today, like his demeanor and stuff, was that when he was talking about JJ being in the facility and coming back to practice with that, dude, it was like a little bit of giddy. Like he's excited to have his boy back, like
I have a puppy emergency. Hold on a minute. Keep talking.
Okay. Alrighty. So what we'll do while Dale is out there, he got a new puppy, and he's staying in a hotel in North Dakota doing some work out there. So he is taking care of his puppy. But there's a couple segments that I wanted to bring into the podcast, and we'll do one. I'll do the one that I want to. We're trying to come up with a name for it. So if you have any ideas, let us know in the comments or whatever. But basically, it's like, I was going into the segment of what's up north, what's up north, or what's going on in the north. Since you're out, so this segment is going to be
check. What do we? I don't know what we're going to call it. Check in.
Yeah, something.
Northward
like I said, give us your comments. We want to try to get something catchy that has to do with checking in with the north.
Northern Lights, Northern Highlights.
Northern Highlights? Maybe Northern Lights. Something. Anyway, so we look at the NFC North. The Lions are atop of that at 4-1. The Packers, due to their 2-1-1, they only have one loss. They're at second. The Packers are on a bye this week. The Bears are on a bye this week. We, of course, are at 3-2, third in the division because, like I said, the Packers have one less loss, and then the Bears are 2-2, dead last in the division. The Detroit played Cincinnati. They beat them 28-6, I believe, or something like that. So it wasn't the dominant performance. I was in the woods yesterday hunting during that game, so I don't know exactly how it went, but I did see some things where people were saying that they were struggling, that they were beating the Lions, the Lions of old, but apparently they went on to beat them pretty easily. Which, Cincinnati right now, everybody looking at the schedule saying, "Oh yeah, that's an easy win." So, anyway, so there were definitely we have our work cut out for us in the North. The Lions are for real. The Packers are good. I still think that we beat the Packers. I don't really. I think that we can still.
It's a coin flip for me, I guess. I don't know. Again, going back to my earlier comment, like my confidence just isn't that high. Do I think we can beat pretty much any team in the league? Yeah, I think we can. Not consistently. I don't know. It's just I don't see the Bears beating anybody. If they beat anybody, it's going to be us. That's how I feel. Yeah.
But we played them at Soldier Field week 1, so they got to come to Minneapolis. They're not beating us. We're already 1-0 against them. So let's see. Let's take a look at the division. Where is the division? It doesn't say what they are in the division. 2-0 at home. 2-0 away. 2-1. 1-1. Oh, let's see. See more here. Nope, that's the AFC. Yeah, I don't know what their division record is. What our division records are. We're 1-0 for sure. Who beat the Lions in week 1? The Packers, right? Yeah, because we all played. So, and then the Packers lost. Oh no, they tied with. I don't know why I can't see in division. I guess I should have found that as well. But
there's football on right now. Kansas City versus Jacksonville. Score is 0-0.
Yes.
Let's see here. Here we go. Standings.
I wonder why they don't give me division record though.
Meaning what?
Like what we are to each other, like what we are in the division.
Oh yeah, I gotcha. Division record right here. We're 1-0-0.
Yeah, but what is Detroit or what is the Packers?
Detroit.
The Packers are
The Packers are 1-0-0, same as us. They've
and
only played
Detroit's
one
0-1,
and
and the Bears are
one.
0-1.
They're 1-1.
The Packers are. I mean,
No, Detroit.
Detroit is.
Detroit's 1-1.
They beat the
Yep.
Bears too,
Yep.
and the Bears are
Yep.
0-2.
And they're 0-2.
So the Bears have lost to us in Detroit, but the Packers have a loss in the division. No, they're 1-0.
No,
They
they're
beat
1-0.
the Lions.
Yep.
They beat the Lions. Yeah. So within the division, we're still above them. Obviously, we're just beating
We're
the
above
Bears.
the Bears, but yeah, we're in third place.
Well, but we're technically not because we don't have a loss. We shouldn't be in third place in the division.
Oh,
I mean, we're third
standings,
place.
yeah.
We're third place overall, but in the
yeah. We're division percentage. We're at 1.
At the end.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the season,
we're tied at 1 with the Packers. It's
Packers,
0.5 for Detroit and 0 for. So
yeah. At the end of the season, it still comes down to your overall record. It doesn't come down to the division unless there's a tie. But you always want to win in your division, obviously. So the fact that that the Lions already have a loss in there, that helps that the Packers beat them. And that's kind of like what I said early on. I think that they're going to beat each other up. But we play the Lions in 3 weeks or 4 weeks, I guess, when we come back.
Sorry. Blinked out there for a second.
We come back from the bye against the Eagles. Then we play the Chargers in California, and then we play the Lions. So in Detroit, actually, I'm probably going to that game. A buddy of mine has tickets, and he just told me if I would pay for parking and give him a little gas money, he would, we could go on his ticket. Of course, parking's like $100 in Detroit, dude. It's ridiculous, absolutely insane.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, no, it's insane. So it's still going to cost me, $120, $130 to go to a game. But I'm like, well, I mean, it'd be kind of cool to go, even though it's in Detroit. But he's a huge Detroit fan, so
I want to do the Christmas game here, but I'm just like, again, my confidence isn't so high. And U.S. Bank's awesome. I love it, but man, I don't like being there when we lose, especially when we lose. Because don't we play the Packers again or something? No, we play Detroit.
We'll play the Lions. Yeah,
I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can risk having to
walk
out of our house on a loss.
But could you imagine that win with the snow and everything that I hear goes on there? I don't even know, but I hear that it snows and all. Christmas Day, dude. I mean, that place will be rocking, dude. I mean, unbelievable. But I have no idea. I have no frame of reference, unfortunately. But anyway, so that's the segment of what's up north or what's going on in the north. Give us your titles on that. We're third in the division right now at 3-2, and we're gonna have to go through the Lions to make any kind of headway in the division. So there's that. Okay.
I would just call it going up north. It's like you're going to the cabin. We're going up north.
Yeah. Going up north. Yeah. What do you do? We're going up north. How about that? That sounds good. Going up north. We get a little video or visual that we can pop up, for the segment going up north, and then we can go into that the record there. Anything else that jumped out at you on the game? Jets yards, Cam Akers Cam Akers is his first touchdown throw ever in his career. We talked.
I got to watch it almost to the halftime. And then I had to go because I was picking up my pup, and then driving out to North Dakota where I'm at right now. So I listened to the rest of the game.
Paul Allen,
yeah.
Nice. That's probably awesome. Anyways,
it is awesome. Paul Allen's
he's so good, dude. He's ridiculous. I did see this one thing about our amazing cornerback, Isaiah Rodgers. So we might have remember Xavier Rhodes closed, all that kind of stuff, where everyone was like he can be a shutdown corner, and he had one good season and then he was trash after that. So Isaiah Rodgers in week 1, these are all pro wide receivers: Roma Doomsday, 2 receptions, 13 yards. Week 2, Drake London, 1 reception, 21 yards. Week 3, T. Higgins, 0 receptions, 0 yards. Week 4, DK Metcalf, 1 reception, 14 yards. Week 5, Jerry Jeudy, 0 receptions, 0 yards. Now, of course, that's not what they had in the game, but that's what they had lined up against Isaiah Rodgers. 2 weeks ago, he had a blocked field goal, and then or extra point. No, it was a field goal, right?
Two forced fumbles.
No, that was 3 weeks ago, right? Yeah, that was three games ago, not last game.
Yeah,
that was three games ago. Last game or Pittsburgh.
2 games ago, whatever I call it.
He blocked a field goal, and then this week he had a big breakup in the end zone, I think, or something like that, where he made a great play. But he's turning into being a great defensive corner. So definitely a huge pickup for the Vikings and a bright spot there. I guess we'll see going forward. We definitely have to figure out how to get positive on that turnover ratio again. Like last year,
we're just not. Yeah, we're not getting our turnovers. It's crazy.
Yeah, we're just not. Yeah, we're just not getting it. So, anyway, so that's that game. Do we want to do the next segment that I wanted to talk about?
Show me the money.
Do we want to do that?
Show me the money.
So every week, Michigan sports betting is legal, and so we put a little bit of money as a FullSkol organization onto some games which we never win, but it's always interesting. So we talked a little bit about it. We got on it. Quite honestly, we talked about this off air. Is that so? Yesterday we had $1,000. We could have won $1,000 on our parlay. Parlay was the Vikings winning. Quinshon Judkins to rush for over 80 yards. He had like almost 100 or over 100. Justin Jefferson's to receive 80 yards plus 80 yards. He had 128. Jordan Mason only had 52. We had him over 60, but he would have got it. So and then we had Will Reichert 2 field goals, and we're like, oh, he didn't get any field goals. But here's the thing. So if you saw the video, if you're a Vikings fan, you've seen the video of Will Reichert's kick in the was it late third quarter or early fourth quarter to tie the game. It was 17-14, and he kicks the field goals like 40-some yarder, and it all of a sudden starts going wide right. Like he never misses that way. Come to find out, he hits the wire that's going to the spider camera or something like that, and everybody in the entire stadium misses it. Like even Will missed it. And somebody said, how does he miss it? But somebody made the point that, like kickers are like golfers. Like they keep their head down through the kick. You know what I mean? They're not looking up to see where it's going. And then apparently he told KOC, I hit that good. I'm not sure what happened. I hit that good. And KOC's like, I mean, that's something we have to hear from the NFL. He's like, it's hard for us to see anyways from the sidelines because they're kicking, across them. He said, generally, I listen to the crowd reaction to see whether or not they made it and stuff, unless they have a jumbotron that's on the, facing it, he said, but usually there's a delay there and stuff like that. So he said, usually I listen to the crowd noise, but there's a wire. If you go back, if you haven't seen it, Google it, Will Reichert's field goal hitting a wire. So hear me out. So that he makes that because it was on track to make it. He hits the wire, it goes wide right. That ties the game at 17. We get the ball back at the end of the game, just like we did say everything else stays exactly the same. We get the ball back just like we did at the end of that game. We don't score a touchdown because we're going to run the clock completely out. Jordan Mason is going to get carries. He's going to get 8 more yards of carries because they're just going to keep pounding the ball to get field position. And if he breaks one, okay, he breaks one, but probably doesn't. We run the clock out, 2 seconds, call timeout. He kicks the field goal.
Kick the second field goal.
$1,000. $1,000. So $50. So we did not, but we do have 2 standing bets as well. This is where we'll get that. So we put money on Justin Jefferson, which of course, obviously we can't win both of these. But we put Justin Jefferson $100 at the beginning of the season to win the MVP. And we put $100 on J.J. McCarthy to win the MVP. So we thought, well, if one of them wins it, we're good. So J.J. McCarthy was 6,000 to 1. So $100 bet wins 6,100. And Justin Jefferson was 15,000 to 1 at that time.
Yeah, I mean, I
So
think we
if
talked
Justin
about it like
Jefferson,
no wide receiver has ever won, right?
yeah, no. But 2,000 yards, he's got to be in the conversation. So Justin Jefferson on $100 bet wins 15 grand. So 15,100 to be exact. And we also put 100.
He's going to have to start catching touchdowns, though. Like, he can have all the yards in the world, but
Well,
if you
yeah,
don't get touchdowns,
you would think so, but he also, I mean, he could have a 2 or 3 touchdown game. You know what I mean? The other bet that we put in there at the beginning of the season, $100 bet, is the Vikings to win the Super Bowl. And last year that was 8,000 to 1 odds. This year it was only 3,000 to 1 odds, even though most analysts had us winning like 6 games. So the current payout, like you say, show me the money, is $10.41.
It's still positive.
$10.41 to win, and that would be a $3,100. That'd be a $3,100 win. So that is our newest segment of Show Me the Money from the ever popular.
It could still happen. I mean, I don't see Jettis winning it just because. I don't know. He'd have to really start cranking out some touchdowns, I think.
I don't know. I think that he has average touchdowns.
But if he
and
consistently
over 2,000 yards,
if he consistently gets his yards and he goes over 2,000 yards or whatever, and 3 different quarterbacks, I mean, there's definitely an argument there. There is still a scenario where JJ McCarthy comes back and just lights it up. You know, if he comes back and he starts playing lights out and turns this club around and we just steamroll people, well, then he's right back. He is right back into the conversation.
Yeah.
I don't really see it. I don't think that's all that realistic, but you know.
Well,
if all that does happen, the thing is, if that happens, I'm winning both my bets. Because if he brings us, if he plays great and we go into the playoffs and then he wins the Super Bowl, he's the first. Well, he's not a rookie technically, but
basically a rookie.
He wins a Super Bowl his first time ever there. Like, I don't know who doesn't give him the MVP. Although they always pick MVP before you get to that point.
That's a regular.
Kind of wild.
It's a regular season thing.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. If Jets gets, 10 touchdowns and 2,000 yards or 2,100 yards, how do you not? You know what I mean? Which that's the one we want to hit. That's 15 grand. I mean, that's
right. But I feel like for that to happen, I think it has to be like it's almost going to have to be quarterback by committee, like for him to stand out alone over McCarthy. Because if McCarthy's throwing him those same yards and those same touchdowns, his stats are going to be padded. Yeah. And quarterbacks are always going to get more love than wide receivers. But if due to injuries or benchings or whatever, if we finish with a great record and win the division, yards.
Oh, technical difficulties. I'm losing you there. I think I got you back.
Then you have an argument there, but
but I still think that we're almost a third of the way through the season, and he hasn't really been around. So I think that comes into consideration as well. Is that Jets had these yards without JJ McCarthy. McCarthy comes back and he plays out of his mind. But I think that between the two, they'd be more apt to give it to Justin Jefferson because he leads the league in most yards receiving through his first 5 years or whatever, averaging 98.5 or something like that. He's like top 5 in every statistic. I mean, so anyway, it's still an option, but there's your Show Me the Money segment there of the podcast. So we would love to at some point say that we hit one, and we probably just need to start doing a little bit better or like a little bit easier.
We have to remove our heart from our bets. We gotta think more pragmatically, which we did this last week.
Yeah, this time we really did. Yeah,
we were like, okay, instead of touchdowns. Remember, I was like, well, maybe we don't say touchdown for Jettis. Maybe we just take the yards. So that's what we did because he's still getting his yards. He just hasn't been finding the end zone. So we're like, well, let's just do that, and then they're gonna get sacks against us. So let's get the sacks. Well, actually, we didn't take sacks because we couldn't find it. Thank goodness.
It's stupid DraftKings. I don't know what that was. Yeah.
But anyway, it's probably a good thing it didn't. Because they didn't get that many this game. But But yeah, they got
I
them. We
think,
can't stop the run. I feel like that's a safe bet
yeah,
against
the
anybody who plays us
opposite.
until they prove us otherwise. Is to
Yeah.
keep going 80 plus
I
on
think
whoever their running back is.
I was thinking yesterday maybe the strat would be to do like, and maybe we only really bet on the Vikings games. We don't ever really stretch out of that, but we just do a whole lot of people to get very little things like 40 yards rushing
Yeah,
and
you're picking
50
stuff
yards
that's not
receiving. Yeah,
outrageous, but
yeah,
you're laying them together in a parlay,
yeah.
which makes that's where it drives up. Because a
That's
lot of
what
times
drives
when
up.
we look like you'd look at Jetta's getting 80 plus yards and it's minus or it's plus,
Yeah,
right? Like you're not making it.
yeah,
If you're just betting that, you're
yeah.
losing
No,
money
it's
on a
minus. Yeah, 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 yeah,
yeah, it's $100 only 50. Like
yeah, yeah,
you're not
yeah,
getting anything. But when you make them as
yeah. You
part of
can
a
put a lot of
parlay,
minuses together. Yeah,
yeah, the
you
bunch of
throw in
minus
one positive or something. Yeah, yeah.
like
That's what I was saying.
let's
Like,
pick stuff that's likely to happen and just put them all
yeah,
together.
yeah. Maybe it's 20 yards Jordan Mason and 30 yards for Jordan Addison and 30 yards for Hawkinson and 60 yards for Jets and 150 yards or 125 yards for Carson Wentz, and that kind of thing. Just like 8 legs, but they're all 20 yards. This person gets 20 yards, this person gets 30 yards, this person, so they can easily get them and then throw all that together and maybe $50 only wins 300 instead of 1,000, but it's still a positive win. I mean, you know what I mean? So
Right.
maybe that's the route we need to go. But if you have any ideas, if you're a betting maestro, if you're, if you have some sure parlays, let us know, put it in the comments, whatever, send us messages. And yeah, we'll definitely take it into consideration because as of right now, we are 0 for 5.
I don't think we've ever won.
Well,
last year.
week we didn't. Last week we didn't. Yeah, last week we
No.
didn't because
we didn't bet last week.
Right, that's how we didn't bet last week, so we're over 4.
No, we
and
didn't.
last year we hit 1. Did we hit none?
We hit I don't think we hit any.
Was it
if we ever
2
hit
years
one,
ago?
we hit a little one. 2 years ago, I think we hit a little one. Like
Yeah, a couple hundred.
Won like $80 or something. I don't remember. It wasn't very much. There was one that we had a big one that we missed, and we needed an Aaron Jones touchdown, and we drove all the way down. He got tackled, and of course in the short yardage, and then whoever our fullback was at the time got punched it in.
Yeah.
It's like,
That's
you
right.
got to be kidding me.
Yeah,
like
that was so
one play away from winning like $3,500 or something.
Yeah,
and it was right there. You're like,
yeah. Well, really, this one really, I mean, he re-kicks that, it hits that wire, and he re-kicks that, and he makes it. Of course, I 100% believe we get $1,000 right there because.
Can you imagine though? Like it was already being shared everywhere once they saw it. But if we would have lost that game, like what do you do?
Yeah.
Like do we get 3 points to start the next game? Like, how do you rectify that?
No, yeah, I don't know. I mean, you talk about being livid, dude. I mean, are you kidding me? We go from 3-2 to 2-3 going into the bye, and we have to go 0 for across the pond because his kick hits a wire, and it was that close. I mean, it came down to the very wire.
Came down to the wire
for us to win.
It didn't, but thankfully it didn't come down to the wire. Otherwise, it'd have been terrible.
Well, it kind of did. We won on the last.
Well, I mean, it didn't come down. It didn't come down to that kick, is my point.
Oh yeah, for sure. But yeah, anyways, cost us $1,000, and it potentially could have cost us the game. It didn't. So all's well that ends well. But yeah, that would have been horrific, dude. I mean, yeah, that I didn't even want to think about that. Like, what do they do? They can't give us the win back. They can't take the win from them. It's just insane. How do they miss that? How does somebody not see that? Be like, wait a minute, something happened. Replay that. Go to.
I think we automatically get the only fair thing is we get one extra first-round pick.
Yeah, exactly. No. We move up 5 spots in our wherever we end up, or 10.
I mean, what would you like? You just there's really nothing you can do to correct it. You just gotta go like, sorry guys.
Sorry. Yeah.
What can you do? Crazy. You can't hold another team responsible for it. Like, that's not fair to them. And
it's just like a missed call in the end zone. It's like a whatever, a missed face mask of Carson Wentz.
There was some pretty bad officiating this game.
Yeah,
there was some missed calls. I thought there's some pretty blatant misholding calls.
I think as a whole, the NFL is just not really that great as far as the calls and stuff like that. And they throw a lot of flags too. It's just so random. Like you throw it on that one, but you don't throw it on this one. Like do you really know what you're doing? But
Well,
whatever. Every
year when
team,
Sam Darnold got his head about taken off, like how do you? And the
ripped
judge
off.
is sitting right there, like how do you not see his head get
How do you not
snapped
see that?
sideways?
Yeah, exactly. Pivotal play in the game.
Yeah, that
I
was
think we lost that game
against
too.
the Rams.
Yeah,
that was against the Rams.
We lost that game. Yeah, exactamundo. But anyway, so there you have it. Like I said, we have a bye this week. I guess we'll maybe come back before the Eagles game, or no? You want to do one?
Maybe. Yeah, we might. I don't know if there's something to talk about. We can always check in on the north. We got to go up north yet. Like, I don't know. Even though there's two teams that are on buys, so
yeah,
not
we'll
much
have to
check
go up
in,
north,
but
we can come back on that, and then we can talk about because we'll know. Yeah, we'll definitely come back and do one before.
Gonna do an injury update
and we'll know who's starting more than likely. If JJ's giving back, because obviously we'll know, not this week, no practices, but next week, if he's taking full team practices with the ones, well, then we'll know that he's the thing. KOC won't come out and say it, but we'll get reports from all the local sports media guys that saying JJ was at practice with all the ones.
Yeah, and this should be a home game off the bye, right? Because we just played two away games.
Yes. And that was a big thing too that we talked about. Those two games across the pond were considered away games. So 17 game season, we got 9 and 8, and two of them were away right there, which really weren't away because everybody was away. You know what I mean? And now Dublin surprised me at how many Steeler fans were there.
Yeah, I was.
But Tottenham was definitely a Vikings. That game was a home game, and we are undefeated.
Undefeated in London. The Vikings sacked London.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like history.
Yeah. So we can save our. Oh, wait a minute. That was last year's games. Oh my goodness. Here we go. I'm like, how do I have scores on all these games already?
You are psychic. Why?
Yeah. How are we losing these bets? I already have all the scores written down. So we'll come back next week at some point once we kind of see what's going on with who's starting, and we can talk about the Eagles and kind of what they have going on, and we'll go up north. Sounds good.
All right. Well, a win is a win, no matter how we get it, and I am definitely happy to be 3-2. Just not a crazy confident 3-2, but hopefully you feel up. Okay. This is week 5.
Yes.
Week 5. All right. There we go.
See you, bye.
And I tell you guys I love you. I mean it from the bottom of my heart. And that will never change. I will ride with this group until they don't want to play more game.